Good morning. So what I'm doing today is I am making Scotch broth. I don't normally cook on here a whole lot because I don't have the greatest setup for that yet, but I want to show you what I'm doing and I'm going to attempt this. Scotch broth is a British recipe. I have been very interested in rationing, World War II history, and what all that entailed. So I've been looking at cookbooks from that time period, and I actually bought one through credits I had on Amazon. And I am going through it, trying to find some recipes that I'm interested in, and Scotch broth looked interesting. So this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna kind of step out of scene a couple times and I'm be back. So, not far. First thing to start off with is soaked barley. This is pearl barley. I had bought it a while back and I soaked it overnight. That's what the recipe said to do. So it's gonna go straight into my pot. I'm using my Instant Pot for this. I'll put it on slow cook, but starts with that. Now, the next thing in the recipe is broth. It says stock. So it calls for 2 pints of stock. I actually am doing 1.5 times the recipe because I have a family of 7. So rather than just the simple recipe probably would be enough for 4 people for an appetizer. And what we're going to do for supper tonight is we're going to have this soup with some grilled cheese sandwiches. So I'm going to measure out my stock. Now I have this bone broth, chicken bone broth, that is reduced sodium. The only reason I got the reduced sodium was because that's all they had at the store. And I had done a pickup order and they subbed it for this. So it's all good. Now I'm gonna measure this out. So I'll need 3 pints. So let's see here. It's pouring very slowly. There it goes. Alrighty. Okay, so I've got my stock going. Now, I will be working on the rest of this. I'll have 2 potatoes. It calls for tablespoons of the vegetables. I'm not going to so much follow the tablespoons as I'm going to just I'll do 2 potatoes, a stack of cabbage that I took the leaves off, 2 carrots, and onion. And I probably won't put the whole onion in, probably just do half of it. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to turn the camera and see if you can see me prepping. I don't know. I'm still new with all this. So, just a second. Okay, I'm going to start with peeling my potatoes. And if we were in World War II times, I would probably save my potato peels and use them for something, but we're not. And honestly, one of the things that I am planning to do with my kids over spring break this year is we're going to go full out rationing and living like it's World War II. They're really excited about it because we're going to limit TV, no social media. It's going to be challenging but fun. And last night I sat down with the kids. We were discussing it all. And I told them that I would like to go ahead now and start measuring out things like the fats, like butter. Now, they called for margarine during that time. Margarine was rationed. My family don't care for margarine. They just don't. And we don't typically use margarine. My husband insists on using butter. So, I found in my cabinet that I had some coconut oil that is butter flavored. So I had gotten it to make popcorn with. So I will, it's 10 ounces. I weighed it out last night. So I will use that when I'm doing cooking that needs a butter flavor, rather than using the butter, because we only get a little bit less than a pound of butter a week for our family of 7. And, you know, I figured that would probably, that's plenty if we're just using it to butter bread or that kind of thing. But we'll use the coconut oil in other things. So I'm working on this, and but in telling them, I'm just sidetracked, in telling them about all of it, we were looking at it, and for margarine we would have gotten 28 ounces a week for our family size, plus 28 ounces of cooking fat, which in reality, that's a lot of fats. When you look at it per one person, it doesn't look like much, but when you put it together for 7 people, it's a pretty decent amount. So I was kind of excited because I think that will be more than enough. I don't think we'll even use the full rationed amount. But with doing the 3 Rivers Challenge, I thought this might help us keep it going and keep it, keep ourselves kind of accountable to use less. And in doing that, we can, I'll try to move this a little bit. We can use less overall. So that's my goal. During the week of spring break that we're planning, I told them that we will go ahead and any TV that we watch during that time will be movies or TV shows or cartoons that came out before the 1950s, which when they were thinking it was going to be something really stupid, and then I turned on Popeye and they were like, that was out then? Yes. So they were very excited. And Looney Tunes and, you know, things like that. They were so excited. It was cute. And then movies. The only sad part to me is that my absolute favorite movie was actually made in 1953. But that's okay. I'll watch it the week before. My favorite movie is the 1953 Sabrina with Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. I have always loved that movie. So I won't be able to watch it that week, but Little Women, that was made in the 40s, will be a viable option because it was made in the 40s. So we probably will watch that week. But not a lot of TV. I'm going to limit it. We're going to spend a lot of time outside. We're going to spend a lot of time as a family, probably playing games. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So, and I think they are too. Of course, it'll be spring break, so I requested that my husband take a day off that week and for us to go to a museum. I wanted to go to a World War II museum, but the closest one that I could find was about 3 hours away, and we really don't want to travel that far. But there is a forestry museum about an hour away, so we're going to do that instead. And my youngest, second to youngest son has been there for a field trip, and he absolutely loved it. So I told him that we were going to go again, and he was very excited. So that's what we're going to do. And then, but last year we did something really cool. Last year we took the kids to a train, and we took a train ride, and it was a 1940s, 30s or 40s train. And we took a scenic ride. I had always dreamed of traveling by train. I still would love to someday, but for that, we just took a train ride. It was a couple hours, basically from one station to another. We stopped at the second station and ate, and then we got back on the train and rode back. But it was truly a memorable experience for the kids. It was very expensive, but we very much enjoyed it. And the kids have asked to do it again, but I don't think anytime soon that'll be in our plans because it was quite pricey for 7 people especially. But we had a wonderful time, and I want to try during spring break each year to just make memories with the kids. Last year's trip actually ended up being on my daughter's birthday, so that was neat because we got to have a special birthday time for her. And for her 12th birthday, she got to spend it on a vintage train, so that was kind of cool. But this year, her birthday is the week after spring break, so we will have St. Patrick's Day that week. And I typically like to cook corned beef and make it all very kind of fun for the kids. And last year, we actually went and looked at a house the day that I cooked the corned beef. I don't remember if that was the 17th or not. I really don't remember. But we did go look at my dream house. We couldn't afford it, but we had fun looking at it. As we came home that evening to corned beef, and the kids were thrilled because it was really good. So that's my plan again this year. We'll probably take that day to go to the museum and have the corned beef in the Instant Pot ready when we get home. And it's always fun. I like to celebrate different holidays with the kids. So my potatoes are going in the pot. I'm going to chop up the carrots next. And I know this is taking a while, but oh well. So we've had a very busy couple of weeks, and kids had ball games. My husband and I went to dinners for his work, and that's all done with. But my son that had the surgery, the dental surgery, has an eye appointment. The eye doctor saw a issue with one of his nerves in his eye, and they don't think it's anything to be super concerned about, but they want us to go to a specialist to get it checked out. So that's what we're gonna do. And while I'm there, my plan is to go ahead and get WIC items while I'm there, and I can go to Kroger. And Kroger is mailing me coupons. They're coming today, so I'm gonna take those coupons and get a few things. I've decided that my goal for the month of February is to spend $35 to $50 a week on groceries, and that's it. And see if we can do that, and I think we can. We've got a pretty good stock in our freezer, pantry, and all those things, and I really want to use up what we have. My son just came and asked to brush his teeth. Okay, wait just a minute. Mommy's cutting up vegetables. When I'm done, I'll take you in there, okay? Oh, the dog. What, buddy? You want to cut up vegetables too?
Yeah.
Well, a little later I'll get your knife out, okay? But not right now. Mommy's trying to make a video. Do you want to stand up here and watch me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse you.
Excuse you.
Me growl.
Did you burp?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just burped. Here, let me pull you over.
Yeah.
You say hi?
Hi.
All right, back to chopping. So, he has little plastic kids' knives that he gets to cut stuff with sometimes. So, typically, if I'm chopping a bunch, I'll get him set up at the table with his so he can chop. But today, I don't have that all set up yet. So, he can just watch me, right, Kenneth? Okay, I think I'm going to stick with the one...
Go.
Your knife's in the drawer. I think I'm going to stick with the one carrot. Now I'm going to do the cabbage leaves. I have quite a few here. Okay, you got to be quiet. I'm talking to them, so you got to be quiet. So, I actually learned something. I guess it was just funny. I was on a group, and somebody said that they take their cabbage and they peel it off leaf by leaf and then cut those leaves up rather than cutting into the whole head And it lasts longer if they're not going to use the whole head at once. And I thought, that's so smart. I don't know why I've never thought of doing that, but I usually use the whole head, but I'm not today. So I was glad that I had heard that, because it'll make it easier for doing all this. So anyway, he's using the spoon over there to tap on stuff. Are you pretending like you're cutting it up, buddy? Yeah? So the rest of this month is going to be busy.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
It is dirty, but we're not using it right now. We're actually going to be very busy over the next... We're not cutting it up right now. We don't need it, but I need you to be quiet, okay? You'll get your knife later, not right now. Mommy's trying to cut up all this. If you can wait a little bit, then I'll let you, okay?
My knife.
I know you need your knife. You'll get it in just a little bit. And I'll let you cut up some cabbage with it, okay? Because I think the cabbage would be a little bit easier for you to cut up, don't you think? Yeah. So, anyway, this is taking a lot longer than I expected. And I'm sure you probably don't care to watch me just chop up cabbage. So, I'm going to stop it. And then I will restart it in a little bit. We ended up with this beautiful soup and had grilled cheese sandwiches with it that were absolutely delicious. And then I baked a cake from a box mix that we had, and my daughter made icing. It's only half iced because my husband doesn't like icing.